Hi. So for anybody that doesn't know who RPD International is, we design and manufacture things, everything from aircraft to hotels to marketing campaigns and all the stuff that goes through your door that you see in supermarkets and all around your home. And what I want to do today is talk about the change in what brands and big companies are seeing as they're trying to connect more with your lives. As big brands are already in your homes. You already have cleaning products, you have food, you have services and hospitality companies being involved in your homes as membership cards and products. But what they're really trying to do is now get more involved in your life. And this really follows on very well from Alberto's comment on Google's acquisition of Nest. Now, Google is primarily an advertising company, and Google has always led the way in the most targeted advertising, which is the most rewarding advertising. So it's only natural for Google to be trying to find more and more information about what it is you do when you're at home and when you're not at home, so as to target advertising to that. And I'm going to let's look at three sectors that we're working in at the moment and see how other brands are doing something very similar. So you've got the hospitality industry, you've got the service industry, and let's look at the retail industry. So if we start with the retail industry wants to know what you're buying, and they want to define what you're going to buy. So increasingly we're seeing the use of iBeacons, and nobody seems to understand what iBeacons really are. The retailers are all dropping these keywords, oh, we're going to use iBeacons, we're going to use near-field technology, but what they're really trying to achieve with that is to understand where you go and what you do in that supermarket. And it's very similar in the hospitality industry. So when you walk into a hotel, your connection with that hotel only goes as far as the relationship that they can build with you. So if they can use technology to connect with you, to understand you the second you walk in without having to interact with you, suddenly that bond between you and the brand is so much stronger. And if you can create a personal relationship between your company and your customers, the loyalty shoots right up. So some of the work we're doing in hotel industry at the moment is about that prediction of who you are, what you do, why you're here, and why you want to be here. So you can walk into a hotel, and suddenly every single person who works in that hotel knows your name. You can go into your room, and you're there on a business trip, and there's a whole desk laid out with pads and computers and everything set up. But then you can walk out and come back with your family, and it's a family room. There's a big TV and the sofa and cushions and everything. And all of that is about integrating the Internet of Things into your lives. And we talk about smart cities, and there's a lot of gimmicky products being pushed around to do with smart cities and enhancing things that don't necessarily need enhancing. But what brands are trying to do now, rather than just push things at you, they're trying to really offer some value to you. So recently we did some work with an airline, and an airline is a very tricky thing to create engagement with, because most people, other than myself, don't fly every single day of the week. So how do you engage a customer a day, 5 days, 3 weeks, 4 months after they've flown with your airline? And so these airlines are looking at other ways that they can improve your life outside of their standard service. And one of the ways they're looking at that is jet lag. So medical conditions, I guess you could call it medical, but conditions that you experience as a result of their service. And they're looking at how wristbands and apps can talk together to reduce those effects. So you can program in your last 2 weeks' worth of time zones and your next 2 weeks' worth of time zones. And your airline knows when you eat, sleep, drink, and will tell you for the following, as long as you want it, this is when you need to eat, this is when you need to sleep, this is when you need to drink something, have something sugary, have something sweet, have something salty. And by doing that, they can average out the effects of your jet lag. And what that means is 2, 3, 4 weeks after you've flown with one airline, you are still daily engaging with that brand, and that's what they want. Because not only are you engaging with that brand, not only are you interacting with their services so they stick better in your mind, but they also know when you eat, sleep, and drink. And they can then sell that data to other companies who also want to be part of your life. So I think that what we really need to look at, if we're going to look at the idea of smart cities and invest in the smart cities, is understanding what people actually want from this. What is it that people are actually trying to achieve with a smart city? Are we trying to just create gimmicks? Are we trying to put £1 billion into doing something really cool? Or are we actually trying to create some value and build something for people as opposed to just throwing things at them? And I'm going to leave it at that because it's lunchtime and we're in Italy and the food's really good. Thank you.